Okay, muchachos, in this video we're going to talk about how to ask someone their age and respond to that. And it gets a little tricky because in Spanish they use the verb tener, and in English we use the verb to be. We say, how old are you? And in Spanish the direct translation is, how many years do you have? So when we think about it, again, if you ask this question, if you were to ask it in English, you're trying to get their age. And so you would say, how old are you? That would be our English translation. By the way, that's called an idiom. How old are you? It's where if you do a direct translation, it doesn't make sense. Okay? So then in English, if we're thinking about our answer, I am so many years old. And then when we go back to Spanish, which would be essentially the answer to this question, if we're still thinking of it in English, you're going to want to say, I see a lot of kids on their paper, they'll put soy. They start off their answer with soy. But we've taken this verb tener and we've converted it to English, and then we didn't convert it back to tener. Okay, that's the mistake that most kids make. So we have to stay true to the verb that we use in the question, which is the verb tener. And so what we're really trying to say is, instead of saying I'm blank years old, you say I have this many years. Okay, so here's my English translation, my English answer, but I have to convert it back to tener. Then I'm ready to go to Spanish. And so you'd say yo tengo. Again, the yo is optional. Yo tengo, and then however many years, and then we put años años at the end. Okay. So and this is a number. Remember, don't use the number, use the word. So if it's 15, don't put a 1 and a 5. You got to put the word quince. Okay, we always got to take our opportunities to practice our numbers in Spanish. Okay, so that's when you're talking about age, you always use tener. If you're asking about somebody else, cuántos años tiene Pablo? You're asking how old Pablo is. Pablo tiene, we still stick with tiene, okay? We might use some different forms, but we're still going to use tener every time we're talking about how old somebody is. All right.